Hello. Well, if you have a question about court during COVID-19, you've come to the right webinar. My name's Lance Fryrear. I'm the owner of the law offices of Lance Fryrear. We've been defending people charged with crimes for more than 20 years in Lynnwood and all throughout Washington state. And if you or your loved one has a court date during COVID-19, you've come to the right place. This is a webinar where we're going to talk about COVID-19 court procedures, what's changed, what's different. We're going to answer some questions at the end. Now, this is the first time my law firm's done a webinar, so bear with me if we don't get it exactly right the first time. But again, I want to get as much information out there as possible because everybody's nervous about this issue. So bringing up our presentation slide, how are courts working during COVID-19? What's changed and what stayed the same? Well, in the past, if you had a court date, you would go to court. You'd get a summons. You would have to drive to court, go to court at a particular time, wait for your case to be called. It was a pretty big ordeal. Nowadays, majority of courts are going to let you appear online, usually through Zoom. And that causes a lot of nervousness for our clients when you have to appear on Zoom. So how does court work on Zoom? Well, the first thing you need to do is you have to know how to log in. You have to know how to log in. And what do you mean, Lance, by logging in? What I mean by that is there's going to be a code that you enter into your computer or your phone or there may be a link that basically brings you to a online or virtual courtroom where you'll be able to see the judge and the judge can see you and things like that. And so the majority of courts use Zoom, so that's going to be the focus of this talk, although some courts use a Microsoft product, some use a Google product, but probably 90% use Zoom. So how you log in is if you're on your computer, you're going to go to zoom.us and then choose join a meeting. And we're going to talk about how you obtain the meeting code. But there's going to ask you for basically a meeting code, 6 to 10 numbers you type in, and occasionally it's going to ask you for a password. If you do it on your phone before court, please download the Zoom application. The Zoom application doesn't take very long to download, and then you'll be able to hit join a meeting on there and also type in the same type of information. So if you're nervous, try to practice before the hearing. What we do for our clients, we will set up our own Zoom hearing if you're inexperienced with the computer or with Zoom, and try to work it out with us ahead of time. And you can do that with your attorney if you have one. I don't know if the public defender will do that, but you can also practice with a family member or your kids if you have them. I mean, they know a lot more than us about that type of stuff. So you might want to practice before the hearing. When it's your turn in the hearing, I'm going to tell you how you handle that here in the future. So we're going to talk about best practices for Zoom court, but before that, I'm going to talk about a few things that you might be worried about. So let's say you're logging in to the Zoom here and you think you did it right and you don't see anybody on the screen. Sometimes you'll be put in a waiting room. And in the waiting room, it's going to say something like, it might, if you're lucky, it'll say the court, so you'll know you're in the right place. Or it might say, hey, please be patient until the clerk lets you in. So you're probably in the right place for that court, even if you're not logged in right away. If you see a waiting room, so don't panic, because usually they're going to let you in pretty quickly. And if they're not letting you in and you're not sure, then you're going to want to get a hold of your attorney, call them on the phone, or you might even want to get a hold of the court. So what are some best practices for Zoom court? Best practices, what I say that you should do is you should dress like you're in court. You know, you don't have to wear a suit like I am, but you don't want to wear a hat. You don't want to be in your pajamas. You don't want to be smoking or eating. Pretend like you're in court. You want to be at a quiet place with some privacy. You don't want your dog barking during the hearing or your kids running around next to you. And you want to get the strongest internet or Wi-Fi or your phone connection that you can, and hopefully you've practiced to see if it works. What we tell our clients as well, and I think a really good best practice is once you're in the courtroom, mute your Zoom, and you can see that typically on the computer in the lower left-hand side, there'll be a place to mute, or On your phone, you'll also be able to mute. You'll see how that's pretty easy to do. And we tell our clients to turn their camera off. Turn your camera off until your case is called. So listen up, but we want you to turn your camera off because if you have it on, people can be making judgments about you, what you're doing, what you're paying attention to, stuff like that. I mean, I've seen some real nightmares in our own cases, unfortunately, with people who did not turn their camera off. So please turn it off, turn it back on when it's time to call your case, but also listen to the court's instructions. They may tell you differently, but at least I think that's best practices as far as what to do about um, how to handle a Zoom court hearing. Um, as far as other things I want you to think about is how do I get the Zoom court login? I mean, that causes anxiety not knowing. So, um, first of all, ask your attorney. Ask your attorney about how you're going to log in. If you don't have an attorney, look at court notices that they've sent you. Oftentimes now, when the court sends you a notice, there'll be instructions about how to do it online. And if there's not anything about how to do it online, you're going to want to go to the court's website, or to be much safer, call the court and ask, hey, is this an online hearing? If so, how do I get the login information? Even if they've told you they already sent it to you, just say you don't have it and you need it. And when you need that information, be firm about getting it. And again, practice ahead of time with others. You'll have a better chance. As far as Zoom hearings, are all courts doing it? No, not all courts are doing remote hearings. There are a few holdout courts, more Eastern Washington courts. Some of them aren't doing it. It's sort of disfavored in Everett Municipal. It's some are, some aren't. Seattle Muni's been all over the place. So if you're not sure it's online, make sure you can call the court. What if the hearing is not online and you're a high risk person, that you've got illness? Well, we would suggest that you call the court and let them know that and see, can you call in, or is there some alternative arrangement you can make? You need to follow their instructions, but be your own advocate. Assert yourself, because we don't want bad things happening to you because of a court date. And finally, if you're sick, don't just not show up for court. If it's an in-person court, you're going to need to let the court know you're sick and see if they can reschedule, because the court doesn't typically want you coming there if you are sick. The next topic I want to talk about is jury trials during COVID-19. Has anything changed? Well, for the most part, jury trials aren't happening, which means that court dates may take longer, because one of the things that makes it possible to resolve a case is the pressure on both parties with a jury trial date looming. And if a jury trial date is looming, then parties are more likely to settle. If it's way off 6 months in the future, there's really no incentive for the parties to settle. So that's something that I want you to pay attention to. So I hope that that general covering the matter has helped. I'm going to go to see if we have any questions. I know a few were submitted ahead of time. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and take a look. So I'm putting on my glasses for this one, given how old I'm getting. So let's take a look at what we got for questions and answers. I see one here. One asks, what should I expect during a court hearing? Am I going to have to speak during Zoom? And how do I know if anybody can hear me? Well, that's a good question. Most court hearings, you're not going to have to say too much. Usually, your attorney is going to do most of the talking if you have one. And if you do have an attorney, hopefully they've been over this with you ahead of time. How do you know if they can hear you? Well, you're going to take a look at your screen and see if you're muted. You can also often go on Zoom, at least to the participants tab. There's something where it says participants and it lists everybody. You can find yourself there and see if it shows a microphone with a mute or not. And one thing I should have covered earlier, I forgot, is it's best to try to put your name down in the Zoom area where it identifies yourself. You can find that under preferences. Basically, if your device just says you have a Moto RG phone, when you log in, it might just say Moto RG and no one knows who you are. So you should be able to change that. and basically do a little research if you can. It's different for different applications, but it's pretty easy to do in preferences on Zoom. I see we have one more question that's come in here. The next question is, what if I don't have access to a computer or Zoom? What do I do then? Well, I'm glad you got on this webinar if you don't have access. Um, but if you don't have any type of access, what we do is we have our clients come into the office. Talk to your attorney if you have one. Hey, can I come into the office with you? This is just too much for you. You wear a mask, you social distance. Usually, an attorney can figure it out. Finally, you can go to court in person. As far as I know, every court is accepting people in the courtroom in person because they sort of have to. You can go in person, but make sure to social distance and wear a mask. So I hope you found this helpful. Again, it's our first webinar like this, so thanks for hanging in there with me for any technical difficulties. But we're here to help. If you have questions, you can give our office a call. You're going to find our phone number. We're going to post this on YouTube. You'll find it 425-670-9090. Again, I'm Lance Fryrear from the law offices of Lance Fryrear. We've been doing this for over 20 years, the Zoom only for about the last year. And if you have any other questions, we have helped plenty of people that aren't our clients try to sort this out because we're here to help. So hang in there. We'll do everything we can to help. And again, we'll be there for you. Thank you.